what's good, everybody? Welcome to Look in the Mirror. Like Los might be froze on us. Let's say shout out to everybody joining us tonight, checking in with us. Let me let Los get back, then we'll get on into this. So yeah, drop us a comment down in the chat if you are joining us tonight, checking us out. Like I said, drop us a little comment. Let us know you're here, where you're representing. I've been hearing we got watchers in a few different states now. So yeah, definitely let us know where you at, where you checking in from. I don't know what's going on with Los. Let me let Los get back in here. All right, so let me throw this link up real quick for anybody joining who wants to get on the panel with us. King, what's good, man?
Gang, we in the building, man. We about to have another amazing show, Had That Fire. But today, bro, I'm feeling kind of special, big dog, you heard?
For sure, man, for sure. Let's say we back for another one. Let's say shout out to everybody joining us tonight. I'm one of your co-hosts, Quay Price. We got our other co-hosts. Tell them who you are, man.
Gang. I'm your boy, King Jaquel Martin. It's my birthday, so I'm lit. You feel me? And guess what? I love her so much that I'm going to show up for my birthday for the show, man. Because my birthday, the only thing I want, honestly, is to give out the gift of love, bro. To give out the gift of love, to say something that can inspire someone's life, to change somebody's life. So when you can just purely want to give love, bro, I promise you it's how we change the world. You feel me? That's the greatest gift ever.
For sure. Well, yeah, like I said, with that being said, man, happy birthday to you, man. Like I said, man, so you an old man now, or you still a young fella? How you classifying yourself, man?
Boy, let me tell you, that Jesus juice work. You heard me? This ain't Noxzema, this is Jesus drip. Got that Jesus drip going.
Nah, I ain't mad at that, man. I ain't mad at that. You doing anything special, man, or you sitting back?
Man, I was sitting back, but bro, let me tell you, my sis set up a Clubhouse Jones. And I don't know if y'all know what Clubhouse is, but it's a nice little networking app where it's an audio app. You get to come in, talk, share testimonies, speak life, and all these different type of things, right? So I thought I was just gonna chill this morning, bro. Why was it like over 500 people in that room, bro?
Nice.
Just showing your boy love, bro. And the crazy thing about it is, man, instead of me being selfish to try to make it about myself, you know how I do, I edified everybody in there and was just showing love and was like, yo, let's turn it into like a talent show. Everybody come up here and showcase your talents. So whatever it is that you do, if it's a poem, if it's a song, just get up here and show love, man. Let's just vibrate on love, bro. And it was so amazing, bro. It went for like 4-5 hours where a whole bunch of people who never met each other just got up and just shared, just showed love and respect. And it was just beautiful, bro. That's probably one of the greatest gifts that I ever had, bro, was just to be able to give back and everyone's just giving love in one spot, in one location. And it didn't matter what you look like, what you sounded like, what your race was. It was just all about, yo, I love you. Yo, I'm proud of you. Yo, let me show you the gifts that God gave me. And everybody was moving in accordance, bro. Magical.
Nice. No, that's good stuff, man. I like to hear that, man. Yeah, I like to hear folks, you know what I'm saying, collaborating, constructive dialogue, man, just supporting each other, man. So that's always good to hear. But man, let me
one last thing. I see you over there in that teal and black. You heard me. Over there looking kind of shy, you know what I'm saying, against that brick background over there. Yeah, I see you over there stunting. Got the Steve Harvey edge up. Yeah, I mean, I see you over there stunting. Got the light, showing the caramel skin. I don't do them like that. Play, you're doing too much. You're doing too much, dog. You're hurting somebody, bruh.
Man, you be cracking me up, man. Like I said, we had to take care of a little business today. We had to, clean up, man. Handle a little business, little transaction. You know what it is, man.
Hey, just for all the viewers, if you was paying attention, you seen Quasi go old school and back my camera out. He did like this. They'll let you know I still got it. That's that butterscotch love. Ain't gonna come out.
Man, you crazy, man. You crazy. Let me drop this title, man. We're gonna hit these sponsors and get into this, man. So the topic for tonight.
Give him that drum roll. Give him that drum roll. Drop them beats on him.
Man, I gotta get some drum rolls, man. I ain't got no drum roll popping over here, man.
Hey, that went for me.
That does it. So yeah, tonight's topic, like I said, we're gonna talk about forgiveness, and the fact, are people waiting too late?
Oh,
okay. So forgiveness. Are we waiting too late?
Okay.
So let me hit these sponsors, then we're gonna get on into this, man. And like I said, if anybody wants to join the panel, I've dropped the link in all of the chats, so you can get to that. I'm gonna drop it up here on the feed as well, so you can see it. So you just drop that in your browser, and like I said, it'll prompt you a couple things to, let's say you can keep your camera off if you want to, and just do audio, whatever you want to do. But definitely come join us on the panel. Let's say since you're joining us tonight, or since you're watching the show, so let's say we'd love to have you up on the panel with us. But let me hit these sponsors, then we're gonna get on into this. All right, shout out to our first sponsor, War on Friendly Grounds. This is our own King Jaquil Martin's book right here, 5-star rated on Amazon. He also has the film that's been hitting all the film festivals, grabbing up award after award after award. Yeah. So definitely, what you want to say, man?
No, I'm agreeing with you. I'm like, yeah, we just won another one.
For sure. So like I said, definitely go support King, and like I said, pick up the book. It's on Amazon right now. A War on Friendlygrounds.com. A War on Friendly Grounds with an S.com. And then we got our second sponsor, Two Sons Juice Co. This is a cold pressed juice company based in Metro Detroit. All natural, no preservatives, no chemicals. It's literally fruit and veggies pressed in the bottle. It's literally all it is. So definitely go check them out for all of your juice needs. Two Sons Juice Co.com. The number Two Sons Juice Co.com. All right. So I'm gonna drop the link for now. So yeah, so tonight we're talking forgiveness, and are we waiting too long? So yeah, King. So you dropped this on me, man, and I want you to drop a little context on why you wanted to take it here, why you wanted to get into this forgiveness, man. Just give me a little context, man, and then I said we'll kick this thing off, man.
I wanted to talk about it because maybe a month ago, I went to a funeral, right?
Right.
And this was the first time I ever went to a double casket funeral. My aunt died, and then her daughter died the next day. This was the first time I seen my family, Quay. You know what I mean? I've been an Army brat my whole life, so I don't know my family. And at the funeral, was so many tears and everything else. And while I was there, I really couldn't understand everything, right? And I couldn't understand everything that everyone was saying. Because I'm like, we have the opportunity every single day to tell our loved ones we love them.
Right.
But we hold on to stupid things. And what we hold on to doesn't amount to the fact of someone's death. And so I'm looking at the weight of what you mad about versus them not being here no more. And how would your life be different or more freer if you were able to tell that loved one, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I love you, and we were able to cherish that, bro? Because I think sometimes, and maybe I'm just a weird thinker, that a lot of times we're doing a lot of crime out of guilt, out of selfishness, because we didn't forgive or we didn't take advantage of the opportunity to tell our loved ones, I love you. How long do we run around with this type of baggage, bro? Sometimes they think forgiveness is a weakness, but it's a strength. Because if you're able to forgive, then you can fully move at your capacity that God has you to be able to move at, bro. Like I truly believe that. And I truly believe that a lot of us are running around carrying dead stress, dead anger, dead weight. And we're not able to do what we need to do because we don't understand the power of forgiveness.
Yeah, and I can feel that, man. And let me know if my audio is a little fuzzy right now. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right, man. Let's say we have a lot of folks out here who, yeah, they do. They wait until folks are gone. Let's say, I know that's something that you say all the time, man, about, giving folks their roses while they're here. And a lot of folks do. Like I said, they wait until people are gone, and then they want to honor those people or give those people their their roses once they're gone. Is that on my side or your side, man?
I think it's my side. My side.
Okay. But yeah, no, let's say a lot of folks do. They wait until people are gone, and then they want to give them their roses, man, or they want to, tell them how to, that they love them and so forth. So now I do agree with you on that, man. Like I said, this is something that I feel like a lot of people need to prioritize in their daily lives. Even with a lot of the distractions and stresses and so forth, you can never truly or never lose sight or lack priority to your support system, right? The people that you love, the people that look out for you, for the parents, the folks, watching your kids. Like I said, you got to show folks that love while they are here, or while they are around, because there's even situations where people may be, friends or close with someone, and for whatever reasons, folks kind of go their separate ways. But, some of that could have been tied to the fact that you guys never really acknowledged each other or forgave each other for some of those little, spats or little challenges, arguments, whatever you want to call it. And you can't hold on to that stuff. Because, at the end of the day, let's say that kind of has power over you. And you can't hold on to those things. Like I said, you gotta, forgive. And listen, this is the thing. I know there's always the big debate behind forgiveness and forgetting. But at the end of the day, I understand people may not forget, right? But like I said, it is your duty, and I'll put it that way. It's your duty to forgive. And like I said, definitely do it while people are around. Because at the end of the day, what you don't want to do is you don't want to miss your opportunity to make peace. And then someone's gone. Yep, and then you can't get that back, or you can't get that opportunity back. What's going on, Chloe?
Hey.
Are you done slid on the show? How you doing?
I know I'm late.
So we're talking forgiveness tonight. And are people waiting too long? Give me your thoughts on that. What you think? Do you think people waiting too long?
Hey.
Oh yeah, let me let you know it's your boy birthday tonight. He over here, old man on me tonight.
Happy birthday, King. Did we sing already?
Did First Lady, it's an honor to get that from you. Oh, that was Steve Prince in the building. Hey girl.
I'm right on time.
Hey, how y'all doing?
They call him Charlie. Last name Prince.
Hey, that was my ringtone for the longest. How y'all doing tonight?
Good. We blessed, brother. Way to bless us with your presence, man. We appreciate you.
Happy birthday once again. We had a situation there.
Got a situation. Hey. Hold on, situation. What we missed, man? What we missed, man?
So I was on Instagram, right? Somebody stole Charles' profile picture. Messaged me. It's like, yo, I'm in trouble. Send me $700. I'm like, yo, 1 second, bro. I got people showing me birthday love real quick. I'm gonna hit you right back. Nah, bro, if you gonna look out for me, you would do it right now. Da 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 da. I'm like, wait, hold on. Charles don't even talk like this. Who's this, bro?
I got a vocabulary,
bro. So right, he's a word savant. So I'm sitting here, and so what I did was after the people got done showing me love or whatever else, I called him. And this is what other people need to do. I called Charles. Bro, hey, is this you contacting me, bro, on Instagram asking for bread? Because normally you would just call me if you needed some love. You know what I'm saying? He was like, bro, that ain't me. And it was a troll, bro. Somebody scamming. Somebody stole his birthday profile, everything. Nicole, gang. I appreciate you. You know what I mean?
And they used the word bro. I don't even use the word bro. He's like, bro. I'm like, bro? Who does that?
So they tried to hustle your boy, man. They tried to hustle me on my birthday and pretend they was my one of my mentors.
Wow, try to catch you slipping, huh? Yeah, you gotta be careful out here, man. We gotta be careful. But like I said, we talking forgiveness tonight. And are people waiting too long to forgive? So I don't know, give me your thoughts on that. I think Chloe was about to say something, but how y'all feeling about that?
Yeah, I think so forgiveness is a learned behavior. It's really hard to forgive people. So I do think that you have to almost forgive people quickly. I would say automatically, because you don't want to take it into your heart. When somebody hurts you or disappoints you or offends you, if you don't deal with that right away, you take that offense into your heart, right? and it kind of festers. And that's when we start to see real issues. Like next thing you know, it goes from unforgiveness to bitterness, to resentment. So you do have to, you have to deal with that right away. You don't want to hold on to that. It's not for the other person. It's for you. Like it's the forgiveness is for you so that you can heal, so that you can move on. Sometimes you're forgiving somebody without them even saying, I'm sorry. Like you have to understand that sometimes forgiveness is going to come without an apology. Like you're just going to have to forgive that person, and because they don't know they offended you, or they don't care, or whatever it is. But that's why it's so important that you understand that forgiveness is not for the other person. I know we hear people say that and we go, oh, that's just something that people say. But no, it's true. Like forgiveness is not for the other person. It's for you. I feel like I read a piece of material on forgiveness where a doctor said that a lot of the illnesses that people have come from things that they're holding on to in their heart. They're holding on to these things, and it literally makes them physically ill because they're carrying these things around in their hearts. And this is what they're stewing, and they're running these things through. And we have to understand that our mental health is important. And if we're mentally off balance, it's going to affect us physically as well. So when people say, holding on to, unforgiveness is like, drinking poison and hoping the other person die. It's like, it's not, you have to let that go. You have to let it go. So yeah, I it's a practice. Like for me, sometimes you have to fake it till you make it, right? Like you got to say, you know what, I forgive them. Like, and at that point, you still might be dealing with those feelings, right? You might not have completely forgiven that person at that moment, but it's almost like you have to kind of start telling yourself, you know what, I forgive them. I'm gonna forgive them. I'm gonna forgive them. I'm gonna let it go. And you almost have to practice forgiveness because it's not easy, especially depending on what someone has done and how deep that hurt is.
Okay, I can feel that. You want to say anything, C Prince? Are you good, man?
Well, I don't think there should be a time limit on forgiveness or a rush to forgive somebody. I think you should be able to learn how to move on and cohabitate, or just do that. Because you think about it, if you forgive somebody too early and then the issue resurfaced, you never forgave them and it got worse. You see what I'm saying? So I figure like this, you either just move on and like, look, I learned my lesson. We're not over this, but we can still function, And like I said, if you turn it to bitterness and you make it an everyday point to remind them that you're not forgiving them and stuff, you have a problem. You got to forgive yourself for being, like you said, it's for you. You got to forgive yourself for being in a situation that got you in that situation. Because you know what? Because you had the warning signs and everything that led up. It just didn't happen overnight. It wasn't one of the spontaneous things. I'm not saying it don't happen spontaneous, but I think you got to learn how to move on. Because you forgive too early, you never resolve the situation that will come back and stress you out even more than it did before, because now it's more psychological and emotional instead of the actual act. You see what I'm saying? So I think moving on is more that we got to learn how to move on and let go and continue to live, because like you said, you got people you deal with that you don't like and stuff, but you deal with them and they done you wrong. You might not forgive them, but you moved on because it don't affect you no more like it did when it happened. You moved on, but you didn't forgive them. You just learn how to move on from that situation and continue living. That's what I think.
But I guess I don't understand how you forgive somebody, how you move on from something prior to forgiving somebody. Like, I feel like that step has to come first, because if you don't forgive them, you're like I said, you're still faking it. Like, when I say fake it till you make it, I mean you claim the forgiveness, you declare the forgiveness. It doesn't mean that in that very moment when you say I forgive you, that everything is removed, it's all gone. That doesn't mean that. It just means you are basically, it's a learned behavior. So now I'm telling myself I'm going to forgive this person because I'm working towards getting to a point where I truly forgive them. Today, maybe it's difficult for me, but the more and more I say, I forgive this person. I want to forgive them. I want to move on. I want to move past it. The more I speak life into the situation, the more I'm gaining that real true forgiveness. Because if you try to move on, like, you know what, I'm just going to let it go. I'm going to let it go and I'm going to move on. That's not really forgiveness. So what happens is anytime somebody picks at that wound, it's almost like it happened all over again. So what I'm saying is walk yourself to forgiveness. Walk yourself to it. That means that it might start as just simply saying, I forgive that person. And in that very moment, you might still be upset with them. Understand what I'm saying? I'm not actually saying that you actually have forgiven them. The emotion itself might not come that quickly, but decide to forgive. So I'm saying you have to decide to forgive. It's an action. It don't just happen. Like, you have to decide. And the reason why I'm going in on this is because this is something that God has been working on me with, really, for real, because it's been a problem. So let me just tell y'all, I'm speaking from like personal experience right now. Like, God has really been working on me about forgiveness. So that's why I'm telling y'all, this is a subject that like is near and dear to my heart, because I've had to let go of some stuff. And it literally is declaring, I'm going to forgive till you get to the point where you're speaking and declaring it. And eventually you'll wake up and you'll go, I have nothing anymore. Like, the resentment is gone. The bitterness is gone. I literally don't think about it. Somebody else can bring it up and I can be like, it's a non-issue. Like, I don't even want to talk about it because I'm done. Like, I really am done with it. And the minute you can start wishing well for a person, like really wishing them well, like really cheering them on, especially if they hurt you, that's when you know you've forgiven. When you don't want revenge anymore, you don't want retaliation anymore, then you actually know you've reached real forgiveness. Until then, it's making the decision to forgive, but you may not actually be at the point where you can forgive. That takes like time. But yeah, that I've tried it. See, Prince, I've tried that. I'm gonna just let this go. And you don't actually let it go. You hold on to that thing.
No, I mean, you think about it. Not all things should be forgiven, though. To be honest, not all things should be forgiven or forgotten. You know, so certain things you should forgive and certain things you shouldn't forget, because you know, you got immoral acts and stuff like that. That shouldn't be forgiven. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't forget it. You know, like I say, like, you know, in our culture, we tell a person in a minute, I don't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't mess with you, and you know why. That don't mean, you know what I'm saying, nothing. I move on. I just don't mess with you. You know what I'm saying? That means I ain't got to be rude to you. I just don't mess with you. So we got an understanding that we could be in the same area, but we just don't mess with each other. You know what I'm saying?
Hold up, C-Prince. Hold up, C-Prince. What Carl King, what you want to say, man? What you want?
Give that brother the wah, 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 wah.
You don't think so? You ain't never told nobody you don't mess with them? Huh? You ain't never told somebody I don't mess with you.
Charles, the Sandman is on the stage dancing with a broom, and he is sweeping that garbage up.
Okay. I guess the only one to say I don't mess with somebody.
No, I'm not saying that. Listen. What I'm saying is this, Charles. What? Just because you forgive somebody don't mean you got to continuously mess with them. That doesn't mean you don't have to learn your lesson from the situation. Doesn't mean you got to be that person's best friend. You got to keep kicking it. That's not what no one's saying. That has nothing to do with forgiveness. Those are two separate different things. No one told you to be stupid. No one told you that if that person punched you, slapped you, let him keep doing it to you. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Nobody said do nothing like that. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is when you're going through the midst of the storm, to find the forgiveness for yourself, of putting yourself in those situations, so that way you can be free to learn to do something different. Perfect example. When I got jumped by that police officer, bro, and I was on CNN, and Jake Tapper, he was like, yo, if you saw that cop again, what would you say? And when I said I forgive him, and when I received all those death threats, because people don't understand what forgiveness is, from every color of the crayon box, and my people included too. They didn't understand, bro. Because the point of it is was I still hurt? Yes. Was I still angry? Yes. But I had to free me because I was walking around like a boiling teapot of rage, bro. And if I would have kept that inside, that's how it affects your body. Stress can kill you. You know what I'm saying? Drama can kill you without the person being nowhere around. I probably would never see that man again in my life. But if I would have carried that anger inside of me, it would have destroyed me from the inside out, bro. So I had to forgive. And now the way I'm using my stress and my anger is in the book, is in the movie. That's how I got to where I got to. Everyone's like, well, how'd you make it this far? How did you deal with that? Because I took that hurt and I took that pain and I used it to be my motivation to my automobile of success, bro. So am I upset? Would I ever trust that cop again? No, bro. Would I put myself in that situation? No, bro. But I had to have enough forgiveness for me so I can be free of the situation. That's what I'm saying. Would I rock it with him? Would I kick it with? No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is I have to have my own personal freedom from that.
So that really ain't got nothing to do with the person.
Excuse me?
Okay, so we got to get back into this. So, see, Prince, you dropped some statements and you basically said it's some stuff that essentially is unforgivable.
Yeah.
Well, see, the problem with that is, okay. So the problem with that is we want forgiveness, right? We want forgiveness. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. Now, you don't have to be, maybe you're not a religious person, but forgive us our sins. Forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. How can we ask for forgiveness if we are not willing to give forgiveness? Like King said, forgiveness does not equal reconciliation. You do not have to be around a person just because you forgive them. Forgiveness is just that. It's just forgiveness. And it doesn't necessarily mean you should forget it either. It just means you forgive them. That's what it means. You release them and really you remove that offense from your heart and you release it, right? So it's not about, I forgot what happened because you didn't forget. And it's not about you still want that person in your life because you might actually need to not have that person in your life at all. But you can forgive them because it's what's best for you. And you know that at some point you're also going to need forgiveness. Maybe not from that person, but maybe from someone else. So how can you ask for forgiveness when you mess up or when you make mistakes? And if you do believe in a higher power, if you do believe in God, then how can you ask him to forgive you when you're walking around with unforgiveness on your heart? Why is he supposed to forgive you? Why am I supposed to forgive you when you mess up bad? Because we mess up bad all the time. Why am I supposed to forgive you, but then you have so and so and so, and you won't forgive them? So it's one of those moments where forgiveness calls us to really look. If ever a time to look in the mirror, when you talk about the topic of forgiveness, that's when you really need to look in the mirror. Some of us are carrying around stuff. We've been carrying around this stuff for so long that we have forgot that it's there. We've been carrying it around for so long. And then we don't understand why we're so bitter or angry or upset, or we go off at the drop of a dime, a pin drop, somebody can look at us wrong, and we don't understand why we're so angry. At the bottom of that anger is bitterness and resentment. And unforgiveness is a good way to set those emotions in place. Forgive. Sometimes that means forgiving the father that was never around. Forgiving, our mother because she had to work 2 jobs because the father was never around. So she never had time for us. Sometimes that's forgiving the parent or the guardian who didn't know how to love you because they never had love themselves. See, we carry this stuff around with us every day, and we do not understand that it sets up bitterness and resentment on our hearts. We think we think we've moved on. We're adults and we have our own kids, and we think we've let this stuff go, and we think that we moved on, but we're angry and we're bitter and we're resentful. And we don't understand that all of that stems from the fact that we have never forgiven the people in our lives who have hurt us, disappointed us, abandoned us, mistreated us. We have never let it go. We have never forgiven them. And that stuff is sitting on our hearts and it is festering. And it's like an open wound. The minute somebody else does something, it just takes for somebody to say something wrong to us. And boom, we're off. And we have to understand what these triggers are, why we are like this, and what is happening. And for Black people, let me just say this. For Black people in America in particular, we have had the most traumatic experience in this country. If we don't learn how to deal with that and forgive, yeah, I said it. Don't forget it now. Open up your eyes, wake up, and recognize what's going on around you. Do not forget. But you have to forgive that because you can't carry that around. We are passing generational curses on to our children who never personally experienced these things because we don't know how to even begin letting it go, truly letting it go. And saying it doesn't exist is not letting it go. That's just burying it. We have to actually forgive and let it go so that we can heal. And you know, I listen, I'm gonna say this.
Go.
Believe what you believe. I understand some people believe in a higher power, some people don't. I understand that. It's what you do. But in my personally, the type of forgiveness that we need to have in our lives can only be born and bred through a relationship with the Most High, because he's the only one that can teach you true forgiveness, because he is the ultimate example of what forgiveness looks like. You need that in your life. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if you think that you're going to, in your own power, in your own human strength, be able to forgive people and let stuff go when people hurt you all on your own, I'm going to just tell you right now, you ain't strong enough. You ain't. You're not. That's why a lot of us is carrying this stuff around. That's because we want to let go. We really do. Some of us really want to let what boyfriend did go. We want to let what our uncle did that nobody in our family protected us from go. We want to let the fact that mama didn't believe me when I said that Uncle Charlie did what he did, and we want to let that go, but we don't even know how. And this is why I say that's when it's time for you to put them hands together and get on them knees and ask for some help. A lot of us right now are sick, mentally and physically, because we hold on to stuff that we have not forgiven our offenders and let it go. This is a very, very important topic.
Sometimes I think, and I'm listening to y'all, right? I'm listening, and I'm getting them like tolerance and forgiveness. I'm getting these. I'm hearing y'all have tolerance. Y'all learn how to tolerate, and I don't know if I'm getting confused as the tolerance or forgiveness that y'all do. To be honest, I really don't understand. That's just my opinion, because I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just saying that you don't have to, me personally, you don't have to forgive somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't. You know what I'm saying? As long as you know how to move on and your coping skills, because there's a lot of people I ain't forgive. But guess what? They don't affect my life. They don't take space here. You see what I'm saying? Because they don't take space. You know what I'm saying? I don't let them rent space in my head at all. So I just like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody handles situation differently. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm right. I'm just saying people they cope with things differently. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know.
So see, Prince. So let me break this down. So you basically telling me that a brother can walk up on you, put the knife in your stomach, almost take your life, and you'll just be able to just forget that and keep it moving. Is that what you're telling me?
Now, since you brought that up, since you brought it up, and on everything, one of my best friends in this world pulled a gun on me.
Really?
Best friends in my world. Today, for 30 years, we've been friends. When I first met him, the first thing he did is pull a gun on me. And we're friends to this day.
What was the circumstances around him pulling that gun out, man?
I was new to the area, and they wanted to get in front of me, and I was like, nah, I don't know, you know. So they thought it was, you know what I'm saying? They thought back then, you know, everybody want to be the bad guy. And I was a new guy, so they thought they were going to intimidate me. And I wasn't intimidated, but, you know, that's not neither here nor there. But we're best friends to this day. You see what I'm saying? Because it wasn't nothing personal right there. Because, you know what I'm saying? I took it as like, this is an introduction to each other. You know what I'm saying? What type of person? You know, I took it like that. You know, y'all got to look at it like.
A gun to your back is an introduction?
It was an introduction. I promise you it was an introduction.
A normal introduction to how to say hello to a person?
Listen to this. Listen to this. I'm going to tell you like this.
Like my Instagram.
When I first moved to Virginia, another dude was my best friend. They put a gun on me. You see what I'm saying? But it's like, I come from, you know what I'm saying, a different time, a different background. You got to let things go. You know what I'm saying? Because I watched some old people. I watched my grandparents and stuff that couldn't be around white people and stuff like that. You see what I'm saying? I watched these old people stress over things that they couldn't let go. So I learned how to cope with things that don't apply with me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it might have been a bad intention, but what was the intention behind? And then when you
wait. One second. You learn how to do what? Because you use the key word. Cope.
Yeah.
You said you learned how to do what? I just want to make sure that we caught that.
I said cope.
What does cope mean?
You tell me, Los, because you
No, I want to know. No. I want to know because I'm not that smart. I'm not that smart of a person.
No, you're that smart.
So I would love for you to let me know what the word cope means, because you said you had to learn how to cope with it. What does cope mean, sir? The word cope. I'll take cope for 500, please.
Come on, C Prince. Come on with it, C Prince. Let's hear this. What does cope mean to you?
I had to work my way through these problems. I had to cope through this thing. You know what I'm saying? Coping don't mean forgive.
No, it certainly doesn't. So cope means deal effectively with something difficult, similar to manage or survive.
Okay. So I'm not the smartest person. So by coping with it means you're still carrying it with you.
No,
and all you did
Hold on.
And all you did was wait. I'm not smart. Remember, bear with me because I'm stupid. I'm slow. Right. So what you did was you learned how to carve. I can't even talk right now. You know what I mean? You learn how to carve. What's the word? What I'm looking for?
Cope.
Manage.
Not cope. You look. Carve.
Survive.
Help me, Lord. I can lose my words right now.
What you trying to say? Compartmentalize. What you trying to say, man?
There you go, Carve. Say it again, Quay.
Something, man. I know what you mean.
Compartmentalize.
No, you say it. You
compartmentalize.
What is it again? Hirsch, I'm learning right now.
Compartmentalize.
There we go. Hallelujah. It came back to me.
Yes.
I've been talking all day, so the devil tried to catch me. Say it one more time, Chloe.
Compartmentalize.
So what Charles said he did was he learned how to say it again, Chloe.
Compartmentalize.
Oh my Lord, my brain is fried. I swear to God, I've been speaking since last night. So Charles learned how to do that. So what that means is you took it and you put it in a file. You filed it away. You put a wall up against it so you didn't have to deal with it. How many times have we done that and we got all these little files running off in our brain, running off in our heart, and then we wonder why we're not operating as fast as we normally would operate.
Right.
So you set it aside, Charles. No.
I didn't set it aside.
You said you cope with it. You said cope.
I managed it and I resolved it. I didn't listen to this.
So you managed it. You resolved it.
Think about this, Los. How can I follow away and I still deal with the people? We talk about the situation. We talk about the situation and we laugh about it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so that's not healing.
Something that I filed away. It's always
that's not healing in that.
Huh?
By talking about it and laughing about it and discussing it, you don't see healing in that.
Listen,
No.
I didn't say it was healing, but
So why would you laugh and talk with the person who put a gun to you?
Listen.
Why would it be a joke? Why would it be okay? Why would it be cool? Why are you talking about it still?
Listen, it's a lot of things that we done in our youth that wasn't politically correct. You know what I'm saying? You forget sin. Understand this.
I'm with you.
You gotta understand. Now, adolescence, I was in my youth. You know what I'm saying? So in my youth years, you was more accepted to do stupid things and not in your right mind. Understand that. Now, a grown man that I am, ain't nobody gonna put no guns to me right now without repercussions. You see what I'm saying? So at the time frame I grew up, you know what I'm saying? You either gonna do what you're gonna do or you're not. You know what I'm saying? And then if you don't do it, guess what? We're gonna figure this out. We're gonna go, you know what I'm saying? That's the street from me. And I like to take that away from me because I'm not that street dude no more. You know what I'm saying? But I can tell you about my situations.
So but Charles, do you even hear what you're saying though? Mm-hmm. You said when I was a child, I acted as a child, and when I became a man, I put childish things away. Right. So in the situation of you not being a child no more, and you became a man, you changed your attitude about a certain situation. And in the change, you were able to discuss the situation, you're able to laugh about the situation, and you're able to let the situation go. Don't that sound like forgiveness? I might be stupid. I ask stupid questions.
I mean,
mute him.
You asked me a question.
I ain't gonna mute him, man. Let him talk, man.
He asked me a question, didn't he?
I'm talking to dogs. I don't want to talk to you no more because I'm stupid. I'm just saying, what it sounds like is you went through a process over time to learn how to let go of a situation. In the forgiveness, you said, man, we were young and dumb. We was kids. But now that we know better, and now that we know how to operate, I can talk to you, bro. I can laugh with you, bro. We can look back and see how stupid we was during that time frame, bro. To me, you just described everything in forgiveness without saying the word forgiveness.
Right.
I'm slow. But I ain't that smart, but it sounds like that's what you did, bro.
Right. Because forgiveness looks different for every person. It's not the same.
I didn't say that. What y'all said was, do we forgive? Y'all said, do we forgive too slow? So I didn't say I didn't forgive. I did not say that.
It's recorded. This conversation recorded. We got him. We got him, y'all. We got us one.
Certain things should be forgiven, and I didn't say you don't have to forgive everything. That's what I said. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said. I didn't say I didn't forgive. I did not say that.
You just brought up the example of having a gun to your back and said you didn't forgive.
No, I said I didn't say I didn't forgive. I did not say that.
Okay, so let me restate.
Did I say that? Did I say that?
Get control of it. Get the control back, Quay.
So I think so. If I think back, he said it a little slightly differently. I want to say he said that there's things that don't need to be forgiven.
I did not say that. No.
He also said, he also said more of something like, and I'm not going to quote you because I'm not C. Prince. He's one of a kind. But he also said something like, I don't forgive. I've just learned to let go and move on. Right. So in essence, you're saying I don't necessarily worry about forgiveness. I've just learned to let things go and move on. But I think, you know what, honestly, C. Prince, I think that this is another one of those moments I love you, by the way. I love you, by the way. I think this is one of those moments where we all say the same thing, but because you're so unique, you just say it in a different way. You know, like what you're describing as letting go, the way you're describing to me and to the audience, to all of us, is what some people would call their process to forgive someone, right?
I agree.
It's just that you calling it letting go, but how you get to your let go is the same way that some people get to forgiveness. So we're not saying anything different. We're saying the same thing. You're just using your unique speech.
I'm trying to be smarter than King. I knew you were
taking us all the way around the world to end up.
I knew you were smarter than King. See, I knew somebody was smarter than you.
I'm okay with that. I'm here to be a sponge. I am okay with the first lady being the smartest person on the show.
No, she just has had to forgive. She had to learn how to forgive.
Chloe, he tried to dodge the word forgiveness. He said, I move around it, I cope with it, I deal with it, and then we talk about it and we laugh later. And he my friend, and now we cool. I was a child, I was stupid, but now I'm grown. So I don't act like I used to act no more. And I think differently because my thoughts is different. And now we can play a drink of Yoo-hoo together. Just say
the topic said forgiveness. Are we waiting too long to forgive? That was what the topic said. You were talking about forgiving soon, immediately, and do that. I said my process might take 30 years. But I will get to that point when I get to that point.
I mean, see, Chris, at that rate, the person that offended you might be dead.
But it don't matter, he's still forgiven.
Well, yeah, that's true.
Thank you, Quay. Thank you. Give it to him, Quay.
This guy.
Hey, I want to do something right now. Wait. Mute him, please. Dear Heavenly Father, please bless me. Please just touch his heart, God. Please just love on him. Amen.
Oh man.
So we gonna reset the room. We're gonna get back to what we was doing. We're gonna get back into the flow of things. Hey, this is just fun. It's about love, but we are talking about something serious. And my question to you guys in the audience: what has stopped you from forgiving someone? What situations have y'all been through? I mean, and why haven't you forgiven the person? Come up here, talk to us, join the chat, join the conversation, join the comment section, get the comments flying, because it ain't just about us, but we're just throwing out and showing our closet so that way you can open up your closet and hopefully it's relatable. You know what I mean? I agree with Charles. I don't think that the first thing you should just say is, it happened to me, forgiveness. That's unrealistic. Things take time. You got your 5 stages that you go through of grief or whatever else. I'm just saying, don't stay stuck in it. Don't stay stuck in the problem. Because if you stay stuck, that problem is going to turn into calculus. So the old me wanted to get even. Thank you. Thank you for Nicole for being gang and being honest. You know what I mean? There are a lot of people that feel that way. Well, you stepped on my shoe, so I'm gonna cut your jacket wide open or something crazy. We all don't. Look, Nicole, you're not the only person that felt that way. I done fought. You know what I'm saying? I done got in fights. I done cussed, jailed, all different type of stuff. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm all of that. I'm talking from failure. Nicole said, have hurt them as much as I did, and I did not get the chance to hurt them once only time to forget. We're gonna have you write that all over again, Nicole. It's okay. Autocorrect.
I think it's accurate, man.
I'm gonna tell you like this.
Yeah, I think it's accurate how she wrote that out, man.
I'm gonna tell you.
Okay. Put it back up there quick so I can read it one more time. I'm just slow. Have them hurt as much as I did, and not get a chance to hurt them. Once the only choice I had was to forgive. Yeah, I can understand. I can understand that.
No, I get that.
Is there anybody out there on the show that regrets not forgiving? They wish they had the chance to say I'm sorry. They wish they had the chance to let it go. I mean, when you go to a funeral, why are you crying? I know you miss the person, but do you miss the person? Would you miss them as much if you lived with that person fully? If you gave that person the roses and everything that they deserve while they were alive? we could flip it. If you had a chance to live a full life with a person and it was that person's time to go home, would you be as hurt? Would the funeral look the way it looks? You know, is anybody missing the opportunity to say I'm sorry? Even right now, while you're sitting here watching us, is there somebody that you can call? Even if they don't give you the answer that you want to hear. Have you ever just said I'm sorry? Have you ever just thought about it? Have you even forgot why you were mad at the person and you don't even remember why the situation started in the first place? And y'all still ain't even talking? But if you remember, you would realize how stupid it was. Like, see, Prince had a gun to his back when he was 13 years old.
Bruh, see, we'll keep on doing that.
You know, and I think to your point, Los, man, I think that's when you see it a lot, man, is at a funeral. You literally have, you know, a lot of folks, you know, crying, you know, and to your point, like I said, I understand people miss the person. But sometimes I think for a lot of people, those feelings are coming out, or those regrets are coming out. And they are now realizing that they are out of time to mend some of those, you know, or fix some of those issues, or tell somebody something that they actually wanted to tell them while they were around. Yeah, listen, that's really when you get a chance to see that. Yeah, hold on, Shirley Ann, I'm gonna drop you this link real quick.
Hey, Quiet, I got a question for you though. And
go ahead, man.
To the panel, but see, some things I think.
My apologies, man. I thought I sent you the link. If I didn't, I'm sorry.
Do you forgive immoral acts? If a moral act be created, I mean, I understand you got to forgive the act, but do you forgive the person?
You forgive the person.
I mean, if you know what I'm saying, and when I make like immoral acts, I'm talking about like.
You mean sexual abuse, molestation,
murder,
things like that,
and stuff like that. I mean,
I'll use an example, Charles. Yes. This one lady had it was a black lady. Her son was killed by a white officer. Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, her son was killed by a white officer, and she went through her process. But eventually, you know, the cops started writing her. Eventually, the mother went up there to see that man, and it took a while. And now they have some type of friendship. You know what I mean? Like when you was 13, and then that guy walked up and said, "Hey, Charles, like my Instagram because I'm gonna put a gun to your back." But she found forgiveness with that cop. You know what I mean? And I know she misses her son. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that her spirit is able to be fed through the strength of finding the forgiveness and the freedom in that. Because ain't nothing like going home and being stuck in your memories. Because remember, okay, here's an example, Charles. Remember when I broke up with Shantae for the first time in my life and I was at the park and I was hurt and I was crying and you told me, hey, when you get home, I want you to go in the room. And when you go in the room, these four walls are going to talk to you. It's going to close in on you. You're going to have a lot of thoughts. You're going to have a lot of, but you're going to have to learn how to love yourself and forgive yourself. Talk to you. Right? Close in on you. You're going to.
Go ahead. That was your mom, man. Go ahead, man.
Mom, we got feedback from you. But that's what I'm saying, Charles. I'm not saying immediately that you have to like, oh, forgive it. Oh, well, it happened. No, that's not realistic. What I'm saying is once you go through the process, even if you cut yourself right now, it takes time for that wound to heal. Right. But once it's healed, you have to find the forgiveness in it. You still got the scar. The scar's still there. That doesn't mean you have to be naive to the scar. But healing, bro, it's something amazing about the process of healing. Because if you don't heal, bro, if you don't take care of that wound, it turns into an infection. And then if you don't take care of that infection spreads through the body. And then it spreads all over. So that's how stress can kill you. How can something that you don't think is alive from the inside kill you? Or excuse me, from the outside on your inside kill you? Stress can kill you. But guess what? When you have forgiveness and you have love, a person that could be on their deathbed could recover. Because they found the love in their heart, they found joy in their heart, and they were healing themselves from the inside out. But if you don't have forgiveness and you continue to have bad thoughts and stress and negativity, it'll kill you, bro. There's a healing in forgiveness, bro. Scientifically proven that, you know, when you change your mindset and your thoughts and your patterns that you can heal yourself.
Mhm.
But if you don't have that type of mindset and you keep holding on to the stress and the hate or God, dog, I can't even get out right now. Say it one more time, Chloe.
Well, the way you want to say it now is compartmentalization.
That's $5 you should get for every time you said that.
Compartmentalization. That's okay. Watch out. I think that guy's behind you again. I'm just playing. You might be 13. I don't want you to have a flashback. He not there because he wants you to like his Instagram and his Facebook, and he got mad because you didn't like his page. When you compartmentalize things in your thoughts, yo, you are keeping a file. And that file drawer is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's why we have the traumas that we have. Y'all remember back in the day, I'm showing my age right now, right? But I don't care because it's my birthday. Remember the cartoon where Tom and Jerry was running around with the tray and he was carrying all that stuff. And then the little feather came down and the feather landed on top of the pile and then everything fell apart. That's how stress works. You can carry so much stress and something that normally wouldn't set you off sets you off because you ain't healed from all that compartmentalization that you've been doing your whole life. Got it. How about that? So that's the importance of forgiveness, so you can clean off that table, so you can move freely. What's up, Mom? Join us. How you feeling? Talk to me. Nicole, gang, gang, gang. Talk to me nice. Stop fighting people. It might have been Nicole with the gun to your back because Nicole said she want to get even. And if you say something to step on her shoes, brother, she IT. She know where you at. She'll hack your computer and look at you while you sleeping.
Oh,
I didn't say all that for the record. Just saying.
I'm sorry.
Just saying.
Yeah,
Hey, so good evening. You all are family. We celebrated King today on Clubhouse. Nice celebration. But I wanna share the significance and the importance of forgiving from a real life story. In fact, this is the first time King has heard this story, and I share it. And I work at practicing not doing it. I work at not doing it because you never know. So my first spouse and I, the last time we were together, we had a very not so nice conversation, and it just didn't go well. But I did not know that it was not going to end the way it ended. And so when he called me to have conversation with me, I was very angry and I did not take his phone call. I was in the military. I had an assigned parking space because I was the first sergeant, and I was so angry. It's just kind of crazy, but I was so angry with him that I did not park in my parking space. I parked at the other company's parking space, and I literally, I'm good. Thank you. And I literally walked to my office. Well, again, I don't believe what they say happens. Let me just put that disclaimer out there right away. So when I got to my office, my platoon sergeants was like, First Sergeant, the MPs are trying to get in touch with the commander. And I'm like, okay, why does the MPs want to get in touch with the commander? And so I called the MPs, but the MPs had no idea who they were really talking to. And the MPs reported at that time a suicide. Again, I don't believe what they say happened. And I immediately tried to call to talk to my husband. I never got the opportunity to say to him, I'm sorry, or to hear him say to me, he's sorry for what happened. So it is very critical to forgive and to forget, because the truth of the matter is you never, ever may get the opportunity to do it. And that's why the Word of God, I love how the Word of God says, don't let the sun go down on your wrath. Be angry, but sin not. I'm not with cursing people out, but if it means you got to cuss somebody out just to get it out and then just say, I still love you, I'm mad, but I don't want to be mad, but I need to hear you, or I need you to hear me. It is more critical than what we know. And I am certain that I am not the only person who has that story. So forgiveness.
That's a beautiful share, and that's a vulnerable share. And I'm gonna double down on your share, right? What I didn't know was, Andre, at the time, me and Andre didn't have a cool relationship. At the time, I was going to prisons and up to the prison to visit Andre when my mom went to visit him. I was a ring bearer in prison, all these different things. So Andre was trying to be my father. And I was like, nah, dude, you're not my dad. I used to call Charles about it.
Yep.
And Andre be like, you grounded. I'm like, who? You grounded. You can't go nowhere. Who is you to tell me I can't go nowhere? What are you talking about, dude? I was in my feelings, right? But I didn't understand to a certain extent of how Andre was trying to teach me about the injustices. And so the things that I know is because of certain things that Andre taught me. And so what I didn't know is the same person whose freedom was taken from him is the same person that wound up giving me freedom. And what I mean by that is when I got assaulted by the police and my mom paid for the lawyer, that same money came from the same person who lost his life. And I never got a chance to say thank you. I never got a chance to say sorry. I never got a chance to say, bro, I just didn't understand the perspective of where you was coming from when you was teaching me, because I was young, dumb, and angry because I was hurt. And I was hurt about things that had nothing to do with you. And I took it out on you, and you still love me. And so those are the moments of why I would cry at his funeral, because I believe somebody took his life. I don't think that he killed himself from a basketball rim. I don't think those things happen, especially in Virginia. No disrespect, it just is what it is. That's the society that we live in. But I feel like I robbed myself. Notice I didn't blame nobody else.
That right there.
I feel like I robbed myself of the chance to say I'm sorry and thank you. Because a person who didn't have freedom gave me more freedom. Participated in it. That's for real.
I'm going to piggyback on that because Carlos used to call me about that. And I used to, if you know him, he's a strong-willed person. He's strong-willed. When I first met him, he told me he's going to run me over with the football. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? He's talking all kinds of stuff. He's strong-willed. But he always took it as, I'm the man of my house. He didn't like nobody when it came to his mother. You know what I'm saying? And I seen it. You know what I'm saying? He was very strong-willed and he was boisterous with that, And we talked, never said nothing bad, just let him vent, because that's a part of growing, being able to vent and say your words and stuff like that. But when it happened, he called me. But his vent it was a different vent. It was a hurt vent. You see what I'm saying? He didn't, you know what I'm saying? He didn't get the chance to know. But he's still hurt from this man. That he was so strong-willed to be like, I'm this man. In my house, this is my house. That's my mom. But at the same time, he was hurt. Because then he knew his mother was hurt. And she knew his mother loved that man. You see what I'm saying? So I understand what you're saying with this.
And that's why we wanted to touch the topic of the show about forgiveness. And I hit Quay on the text message like, bro, I want to do this show. And he was like, word, I'm with it. And Quay actually came up with the fire title, Forgiveness. Are we holding on to it too long? Like I love my bro Quay. You know what I mean? When it's time to do something or whatever else. And then I asked Quay about a special show that I wanted to do. I want to do a book signing right here on our show, virtually. The first time ever on Look in the Mirror, the Conversation. We're going to do a book signing for a young lady who wrote a book. More to come on that, more details about that. But Quay was like, yeah, bro, it's whatever. And I had to check him like, hey, everything good, bro? Everything cool? You good? And Quay was like, yeah, respect, bro. I'm with the smoke. You know what I'm saying? It's no problem. And so the point of why I said that was because in the midst of just not knowing, sometimes it's just okay to get clarity. Because sometimes things can get lost in translation. How many arguments have happened because you didn't get the clarity or the understanding, and you put your meaning on what someone was saying, and you didn't ask them what they meant? Hey, what you mean by that? Hey, what? Well, I feel like this, but is that what you were saying to me? Am I taking it the wrong way? Y'all remember when we was kids and we played the telephone game? Chloe would say something, she'll pass it to Quay. Quay would pass it to Charles. Charles would pass it to Nicole. Nicole would pass it to Shirley. Shirley would pass it to the beat maker. And by the time it got back, it ain't what the person said. How many times have we got lost in translation and let emotion take over something that wasn't even said. And now we mad about something that never happened. And we've been bamboozled, tricked, and we just been holding on to it.
Yeah, and the key thing to that, and I know I jumped in late, so if you guys said it, I'm just echoing it. The truth of the matter is forgiveness is more about you than the other person, so that you can free your mindset. And in addition to that is the argument because I have to be right and the other person has to be wrong, and there is no bending and there is no compromise, and I'm seeking to be understand versus me sending it for it to be understood, which is a past tense. And so forgiveness requires work on everybody's part. And I'll give you another real life issue. So this morning, well, every morning for the most part, I do prayer call. And so yesterday evening, in the middle of the evening, I love Clubhouse music or whatever, and I had it in my ear and it came off, and my husband's like, "Why you turn that stuff off?" Because in the middle of the night, we listen. I'm like, blah, 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 right? So when I got up, the Holy Spirit convicted me and said, "Oh, really? You gonna get on prayer at 6?" I'm telling you, the flesh was kind of fighting it. And he had went downstairs, right? And I'm like, but I mean, the Holy Spirit like, really? I think you're supposed to leave your gift at the altar and go get it right. So, and it was strange, but it felt good in the end, because I was submissive enough to the Holy Spirit to go and say to him, "Hey, you know what? I apologize for my tone." He's like, "What are you talking about?" I guess he had pretty forgotten it, blocked it, or whatever.
Moved on.
But God allowed it to flow, because it was my time to actually be the leader of the prayer call. So I had actually texted somebody and said, "Hey," so my mind was telling me this is going to be this long drawn out conversation. I should have started this conversation at 5:30 so I could lead the prayer call at 6:00, blah, blah, blah. But it was like done. I didn't even need them to facilitate on my behalf. And so for me, that's like, okay, that's growth. That's me. That's looking at you. It doesn't matter how he responded, what he said, what he didn't. You lost you in the midst of it, and you allowed Satan to cause you to lose you. And he almost got a huge win, because initially I was not going to lead the prayer call. And so it's bigger than the other person. The truth of the matter, just from what happened this morning, it was more about me than it was about my husband. And so, it's not a boast in me or whatever. And I'm like, okay, God, I pray you proud of me. Because in the end, he's going to say to people, and I know y'all talking about forgiveness, but the Lord spoke on forgiveness. And forgiveness also requires love, loving the other person more than yourself, which is kind of crazy. But that's what God did, because he said, while we were yet sinners, he sent his son to die on the cross for us. So the whole point in that process also is, it was people, my husband liked to call them the itty bitty committee, but people talking in my head, creating blockage in stories. So we have to also learn how to just be still and really know that God is God. Because at the same token, you also, when you ask a person to forgive you, that I'm gonna just kind of hear you all, is not you strategically putting something in your head. God, you got to get him. That Peter spirit, you get him. Let me cut their ear off. Let me, you do something with them. No, true forgiveness requires humility and love and wanting the best, as crazy as it sounds in the natural, but you're wanting the best for the person who harmed you. Because not only did Christ say it, but even Stephen, while he was being stoned, he said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." I'll pass it over to you all.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what we kind of touched on earlier, that forgiveness isn't for the other person. It is for you. I think we have to remember too that and this does go back to, you know, if you're a spiritual person, if you're a religious person, whatever you like to classify that, we have to understand that when you're walking around with unforgiveness, you are leaving yourself open to, you know, spiritual attacks, because our war is not against flesh and blood. So it's not even the person per se that you have to, you're worried about that person coming back at you, or your forgiveness is necessarily even simply just because, you know, I'm flubbing this, but basically forgiveness is a spiritual principle. It's a spiritual principle. You have to practice forgiveness. You know, Jesus didn't say in his prayer forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us, just because love and forgiveness are the major keys to truly following the example of Christ, because he was all about love and forgiveness. But also he knew that if we practice love and forgiveness, there would be no room left for the adversary to be able to attack us. Because once you reach a point of love and forgiveness, that means loving somebody, even if they've hurt you, if they've attacked you, even if, you know, you never get the I'm sorry from them. Sometimes forgiveness means you never really get an apology. You forgive them because it's the right thing for you to do. You forgive them because it's about you. It's not about them. So forgiveness is really a spiritual principle, and you can't let it fester, because what happens is you open yourself up to the attack. So Shirley Ann, that was like the perfect example, because of what had happened. See, the devil was like, got her. Oh yeah, I'm about to mess up. She's not about to do this prayer. So once you forgave, it removed the access that the enemy thought he had. And that's what we have to understand too. Like, the reason why some of us are walking around angry and bitter. Okay, well, you already allow unforgiveness. That's a sin. So now you've already allowed it, right? So now, okay, now we're going to toss, you know, the adversary comes and says, okay, I'm going to toss a little anger in there. Oh, now I'm going to toss some resentment in there too. Oh, I'm going to toss some bitterness, because we love bitterness. And now it started with just unforgiveness, but now you got 4 different spirits on you. Now you got to get rid of the unforgiveness, the resentment, the bitterness, and the anger, all because you wouldn't forgive. It's a spiritual principle. Forgive those if you want to be forgiven. You can't have these legal rights being given to the adversary because you're coming in agreement with something that you shouldn't be coming in agreement with. You gotta let it go. It's important, and it's important whether you believe in God or not. You don't have to believe in God if you don't want to. But at the end of the day, spiritual principles are still spiritual principles. They still exist. They still exist. So even if you don't believe in God, that's fine. You're right? But that principle still exists. And if you violate that principle, there are repercussions. So we have to understand that forgiveness is more to forgiveness than just, I forgave them, so now I don't get to get my revenge that I want because it's going to make me feel better temporarily, right? It's not about that. Everything has this is causality, right? Where every cause there is an effect. Like, you walking around with that unforgiveness is doing more than just what you think is something against that person, right? Sometimes we hold on to stuff because we think it's hurting the other person, and they'll be going on with their lives completely unaffected. Like, they are completely unaffected. Sometimes they don't even know that they hurt you or that they offended you. And you're upset. You're all sick about it. It's bothering you. You're carrying it around, and they don't even know that that's how you feel. So you hold on to the unforgiveness because you think it's doing something to them. You're not talking to them anymore, and you're not, you don't deal with them, and I'm going to make them pay. And in the process, they like, oh, I don't know why I ain't heard from her. I guess she all right. You know, I don't know. I ain't did nothing. So I don't know. I guess she'll come back around when she feel like it. And the whole time you're holding on to it, you haven't moved on. You can't really move on, because if you haven't forgiven, you can't move on. You know, you just cope. You are coping, but coping means that something is actively happening, right? And you're surviving it. That's what coping really is. It's like coping with stress, right? That means you're in stressful situations constantly. You just coping. You're learning how to deal with it. But that doesn't mean that the stress has disappeared. It's still a thing. So if you're coping with your feelings because somebody did something to you, you're living with how that makes you feel.
Yeah.
But you're not addressing it. You're just dealing with it. You're managing it, right? So we have to get to the point where we are forgiving. And sometimes, yes, that means you got to say, okay, I'm going to forgive this person. You got to declare it before you even truly have the feeling of forgiveness, because that's the starting point, right? Like you got to start somewhere. Okay, I'm going to forgive this person. I'm going to forgive this person. Okay. And every day you might have to say it again. Like, I forgive this person. Because like you said, C. Prince, when some offenses are so major that they don't just go away. You can't just put them away. You can't just forgive them in 5 seconds flat. Like some offenses are really heavy and they're really hard and they take time. So, I mean, you know, I just think at the end of the day, forgiveness already is very, very difficult. It's already really hard to forgive people. We say stuff like, I let it go, I just let it go, or I just moved on. But unless you truly have dealt with how it made you feel, then you haven't really let it go. And you're just saying that. And I almost rather you take the 30 years that you said you need to take. I mean, I hope you don't take 30 years, but I almost rather you take the time that you need to really forgive that person than to say, oh, I let it go. And you really didn't let it go.
Chloe, are you talking about the time when he was 13 years old and the guy put the gun to his back, and then when he put the gun to his back, he went and got bubble gum and some dill pickles and some hot chips? You talking about that time? And then they laughed about it, and then they went to bingo night, and then went to the club afterwards?
He let that go. He let that go.
Let me go to Nicole, man. Y'all over here tripping, man. Leave Steve Prince alone. Nicole, you want to say something? Go ahead, Nicole. Unmute yourself.
Hello, people. So, I'm actually going to share a personal experience as it relates to this topic because it's real honest.
I knew you had one. Come on with it.
Oh, Lord Jesus. So in my case, I actually was a victim of sexual assault, and in the particular time period, it was a big development phase. And so I definitely struggled with the concept of forgiveness, especially at an age where I'm, moving into adulthood. So I definitely, in the concept of coping, I would say in that particular situation, it was a long period of coping in a sense of I'm going to be okay just enough so I feel like, okay, I can survive and I'm feeling okay for the next day. But it was never like, okay, I'm really, really okay. I'm just okay enough for the day. And because I have all this other stuff going on, I got to get through this other stuff. So I'm going to be okay enough to get through this other stuff. Did it come out in other ways of like being angry, just antsy and all of that? Yes. So really, was I really coping? Maybe, sporadically, but not, not at all in the area of forgiveness. So I definitely think, those are definitely different things. Now, as time went on and I really got to a point where I'm like, okay, this is affecting other areas. So am I really going to continue to cope knowing that there's other aspects of life that I desire, where if I really don't forgive, I may miss out and lose out on those other things. So it really took that and sitting back and saying, you know what? I have to forgive. Is it going to happen overnight? No. But I know that I'm going to be less angry, less frustrated. I'm going to begin to return back to the happy person I once was. So, you know, I'm not so much into a coping aspect. I'm in okay, I'm healing and I'm accepting. And at some point, I'm going to forgive. So I say all that to say that there are definitely distinct differences between those concepts, and they're different journeys for sure.
Well, first of all, Nicole, thank you for that incredible share.
For sure.
Incredible share. Because what you don't know, Nicole, is you don't know how many little girls or boys that you're about to heal with being able to talk about that situation, the process of that situation, the truth of that situation, how it affected you. You know, um, that was so powerful. I don't even know if you know, because sometimes when you're just being pure and you're just being honest and you're just being truthful, how freeing that is for someone else who don't know how to be truthful and honest with themselves, for people who don't know how to get to that point because they have a lot of anger because of what happened to them. And now they go into the world with broken glasses because someone broke those glasses. And they don't know how to put those pieces back together again. And then they're carrying this, and when they're looking at people, they feel like everyone's attacking them, or they feel like this and that, and it's changed the outcome of what it's changed their viewpoint of how they would see things. And then it drifts off into other relationships that they might have with another person, a friend, or someone that they might want to fall in love with, or the job, and or just anything. And it's the PTSD and it's the trauma of that. But for you to be someone who went through that, I apologize that happened to you. I'm glad that you have a testimony about it. I appreciate your share. And I promise you, your share will set somebody else free, because they need to know, what do I do now? And because you just gave from your heart, you gave them some type of guidance on what they can do, because there's no correct blueprint to what to do, but they can look to the lighthouse of who Nicole is and say, okay, someone else went through what I went through, and someone else survived. Someone else found forgiveness. So if she can do it, I can do it. And I just need to figure out how. And so that's why your share was so important. I want to acknowledge it. I want to let that breathe, because someone else needed to hear that. You know, because you didn't have to say anything. We were in the back chat. Hey, Nicole, you want to share? You ain't said too much you want to share. And what you just shared was everything. Everything. And it was everything to every single person that needed it. You know, my mom, my sis, a couple of people that I know. I won't put their names out there because I don't have their permission. But people live this experience for real. And it affects them for real. Girls getting touched in the home, go out into the world, and they want people sit back and talk about them. Why she's so promiscuous, bro? If you only knew why. See, you're so quick to call somebody out their name, but you're not quick to know what they've been through. You don't know their journey, because if you knew, you wouldn't talk the way you talked. And if you couldn't love them the way you need to love them, then you need to move out the way for the right person to love them through that process. Because that takes a lot. It takes individual healing, and then it takes to have good people around you to heal. So I honor you, Queen Nicole. I thank you, Queen Nicole. I love you, Queen Nicole, so much for you doing that for all the right reasons. You shared that with and didn't want nothing back. You just shared because it was just on your heart. And because you did it from that place, I promise you, you pierce somebody's heart. Somebody gonna listen to this and somebody's gonna be in tears. Somebody's gonna cry. Somebody's gonna reach out to you. Somebody's gonna wish they could hug you. Somebody's gonna have hope. Somebody's gonna have joy and light and know that they can come through this storm. You know why? Because Nicole did it. Because Nicole did it. And I don't care who think I'm being long-winded right now that's listening. It needs to be said because it happens so often, especially the women. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen to the boys, because it does, but especially women being taken advantage of like that. So thank you, Nicole. Appreciate you, Quay, for giving me that space.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, no doubt. I'm glad Nicole was able to say that. And like I said, shout out to you, Nicole, for saying that. You know, Barbara Price just dropped a comment. Thank you for that, Nicole. Shout out to Mama Price hanging with us at 11 o'clock at night.
With your young self, you know you got curfew.
But yeah, no, like I said, I think that's just one of the values of this show. People being able to come on the platform and be transparent. And like I said, be able to be safe to do that. And like I said, we try to make sure everybody, you know, gets a chance to be free to say what they want to say. We try to make sure everybody gets a chance to say what they want to say, for as long as they need to say it. Because I said there's not always opportunities that are provided for folks to just be able to get things off their chest or just be honest about how they're feeling and so forth. And then too, at the same time, you know, we mix a little fun in there. You know, we got C Prince back here doing what he do, as you know, as always and so forth. So, you know, we try to keep it interesting as well.
Hey, Quay,
yeah, no, go ahead, man.
Can I say one more thing?
Go ahead, man.
I'm not even gonna talk. Nicole, can I ask you a question, Queen?
I'm blushing with being called Queen because somebody else at work started calling me Queen. So I'm just like, Lord, y'all killing me this week. Y'all killing me. Okay, I'm listening.
You're good, Queen. After that share, how did you feel?
Mm-hmm.
What did that share do for you?
For me, it definitely felt it felt like a release, and it was definitely I would say that's like the official acceptance phase for me, which was being public about it, because I haven't been. And for so long, I felt just bad about it, even though it is a common thing. You know, it's just like at a point, I'm like, it's legit. There's other things that I want in life, and I'm definitely in a healing phase where it's just like, yo, you gotta be, you know, transparent about who you are. So, yeah.
I said that because
it's the release for me.
yeah. It goes back to the title of the show about forgiveness and how it really isn't so much for the other person and how it's for yourself. And she said, yo, it's official. It's me coming out and standing in my truth and knowing that it's okay and still loving myself in that moment and being complete and being open with it and not hiding in the shadows no more and stepping into my light and going after what I want. But in order to be able to do that, I had to let go of what was. There's so many times that we hang on to the past and our past becomes our future because we don't look at our future because we're so busy looking at the past. I'm so grateful for you, Nicole, to find yourself, Queen, in your present state and being present where you are with what you've been through so you can get to where you're going. I'm so glad that you're present to where you are in life to heal from what happened to you in life so you can get to go where you got to go in life. Because now you'll fly like you ain't never flew before because you're not carrying that dead weight anymore. And I commend you. I celebrate you. And I promise you there's somebody crying, happy. You know, somebody's just free right now because of what you just did and how you stood in the boldness of it. Wow, Nicole, that was beautiful. I just want to give you your roses, sis. Go ahead, Quay.
Yeah, and I think, like I said, I think that's important. What Nicole just did, because that is the second half of the topic today. And Nicole has basically made a decision. She ain't gonna wait too long. Yeah, she had to make a decision because at the end of the day, she wants to move forward with her life without that having that type of power over her future. So she just point blank said she ain't gonna wait too much longer, and we're gonna go ahead and get that on out, and we're gonna get it moving. So yeah, like I said, anybody watching the show, just take notes from Nicole. Stop waiting. Forgive and move yourself forward. Yeah, but it's just that simple.
Hey, Nicole. Watch this, Quay. Hey, Nicole. Can I ask you one more question, please?
Oh Lord, yes. Yeah.
Quay, can I get a couple of bombs? Can I get a couple of bombs, please?
Oh God.
Hey, Nicole. When you gonna drop your book?
You know what? I said later in life. I said later in life. I don't know.
When you gonna drop your book, Nicole?
I said later in life. That's so funny. Now you making me cry. Just, dang.
I ain't making you cry. That's your soul
You
crying.
are.
Your soul want to speak. That ain't got nothing to do with me.
Crying. Oh,
That ain't got
Lord.
nothing to do with me. No, sis. I don't get no
I'm
credit. That's your soul standing up crying. That's everything on the inside of you crying. That's what God put inside you that's crying right now. That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's all about you, because it's time. And you just said it's time. So the fact that you said it's time, he said, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready. And it's time for you to give the same healing to some other little girl. That's why you're crying. Because when you're telling the truth is beautiful. It's so beautiful because it's so much BS in the world. In your life, that you love it, that's everything. That's why I said, hey, Quay, can I get those bombs one time? Because it wasn't about me. It was all about you. It's all about you. And guess what? Your soul is rejoicing. Tears. Those tears are of joy, Nicole.
Yes, Queen.
Like sis, people watching you, you don't know how beautiful you look right now in your glory. I don't know if you know what, you can't see what we see. Well, maybe you can because you're on the computer, but you might not see the way we seeing it. But Nicole, you look so beautiful right now, standing there in your glory, in your vulnerability, in your femininity, in your queenliness. Yes, sis, own that. Write your book, tell your story, because someone else needs to be free. And now that you're free, that's what a testimony is, Nicole. That's a testimony, because you passed the storm and now you're in your rainbow, and you stood in your rainbow for everyone else to see. This ain't got nothing to do with Quasi, Chloe, C Prince, my mama, you, or whatever. Excuse me, me. It's all about you, right? But it ain't even about you no more. You know why? Because you delivered. You free now. Now you got to go free somebody else. Now it's your turn to play tag. It's your turn to play tag. And you know what's so crazy? Oh my God, Quay. We just got done talking about doing the first book signing on the show. Nicole, guess where we're going to do your book signing at? When you're ready. On the show. Anytime you want to. Yes, ma'am. And guess what? Guess what, Quay? Guess what, Quay? Can I get some more bombs? Can I get some more bombs? Can I get some more bombs, Quay? I know a publisher who published my book, who I'm going to pass to you, who can help publish your book, who you can reach out to for that subject, on that subject. So now you're accountable for what you know. All you got to do is do your part, and I will throw you the alley-oop so you can go out there and free so many other people, Nicole. You just got to write your truth, sis. And guess what? I'm going to tell you the exact same thing that Charles told me when I was a little kid. When you write your book, the four walls are going to close on you. You're going to cry. You're going to laugh. You're going to get mad. You're going to be angry. You're going to go through so many different emotions, but you got to go through it to be free. You know why? Because you're no longer putting this emotion in the file drawer. Uh-oh, Quay, I feel it. I feel it. I feel it coming on. I feel it coming on. I'm about to go in. This is my last. I'm going to stay for the speech, but I feel God touching me right now. I feel him touching me. You know, Nicole, That thing been sitting in the file drawer for so long in your soul and in your spirit. And now you done took it out and you blew the dust off of it. You blew the anger off of it. You blew the, hey, Nicole, you blew that you ain't got to hide it no more. You broke the chain, sis. You got rid of the mental chain. You defeated your enemy, the one that's between your ears. You just defeated it, Nicole. You're able to go to the next level in your life, Nicole, because you did everything that you were supposed to do, Nicole. Now life can be different, Nicole. Now you can attract something different in your life, Nicole, because if you had attracted it before, you wouldn't have been ready for it, Nicole. But now that you're free, he can, guess what you did, Nicole? You did this right here. Now I can bless you. Now I can put in you what you need to have in you. And I want you to grab hold of that. You can let go of what was. I need a little bit of water. You can let go of what was, Nicole. Thank you, God. I got water right here. We're going to get this. Set myself up. Sis, it's amazing to be free and stand in your glory where we can see your wings. Because guess what? Not only did you free yourself, look at Chloe smiling. You freed Chloe. You freed Charles. You freed Quay. You freed my mama. You freed me. You freed Miss Price. You freed everybody else that's just watching. See, it wasn't about you, sis, but I needed to use you. I needed you to be a vessel. I needed you to carry this burden. I needed you to do this favor for me because I had a harvest and I planted a seed and I allowed something to happen because I knew you could endure it. Chloe, tell me if I'm wrong, but the Bible says I won't put nothing on you that you can't bear. So you bared it while you watered it and you nurtured it and you did everything you did to do. So now we can see what grew out of the ground and we see Nicole standing and we looking at Nicole like, oh, look at Nicole because she look different. She talk different. She walk different. She is different. She's free and she can do what she want to do because she's doing what God told her to do. And she's wondering why she's crying, but you're crying because your soul has been suffocated for so long and now it can breathe. It can breathe the free air that it was always meant to breathe for you to be everything that you were supposed to become, Nicole. Life is going to be different from here on out, Nicole. Little girls will be different from reading your book, Nicole. You just don't know what you did, Nicole. But guess what? We gonna talk to you, sis. We gonna talk to you, Queen. Quay gonna talk to you, Queen. Chloe gonna hold you accountable, Queen. See, Prince gonna talk to you, Queen. My mama gonna talk to you, Queen. When you cry, call my mama. When you don't understand, call on Chloe. When you need a man's opinion, call on Quay. When you need an old head's opinion who had a gun to his back because he was a little kid and he had to find forgiveness and he coped around it, call Charles. If you need some wisdom, call Miss Price. If you need somebody who won't shut up, call me. If you just want somebody to talk to you, we're here. You got a family. And as back in the day, it took a family to raise a child. And now we get to raise you. We get to hold you up. We get to exalt you. We get to praise you. We get to love on you. We get to pour into you. All these things just keep going and keep jumping and got the Holy Ghost. I can't wait for this to drop. I can't wait for this to drop because there's some little girl that's going to sit back and watch and cry. The same way you just cried. The same way some little girl with the same freedom that you have because she is entangled with the fact that she's been molested. She's entangled with the fact that she don't know why she's so promiscuous. She is entangled why she doesn't understand why she's looking at the world the way she's looking at the world. She is hurt, but she doesn't know what freedom looks like because maybe she ain't seen nobody get away from this with this entanglement of being molested. But now, Nicole, because you're standing in your light, she get to see you. And if she don't get to see you, she get to read your book. And your book and your words of encouragement will change her. And that's why it was so powerful. Because it's free, Nicole. That's how you set somebody free. And you did it without even knowing that that's what you was trying to do. And that's why it looks so beautiful. Go ahead, Quay, because you know I get started, man. Go. You better take the mic, Quay. Leave me alone now. I'm about to go.
It's all good, man. What needs to be said needs to be said. Did anybody want to say anything in closing before we get ready to wrap? Everybody good? Chloe, you good? Oh, go ahead, Charlene.
I do. And I just want to say something to Nicole. The first little girl that you freed was a little girl that was within you. You set her free. And then the other thing, I'm a part of a women's group and I just love it. So Chloe, don't like go nowhere with me, but it's okay. And what it is the word, the Pastor Dia, she was talking and she says, and this hits you too, but she says, y'all been hiding in so much shit. And she said, I meant that word just like that.
Stank.
And shit stands for silence, hidden in torment. There are things that are happening that you have been silent about and you are hiding it and you have been tormented as a result of it. She said, get rid of the shit and get in the shift. And the F in the shift is freedom. So set your sail with the wind and allow your sail ship to go where it needs to go, because the shifting is in place for you. Now that you set that little girl free, and you don't have to bring her back because she's free now. And now the woman in Nicole can rise up and live and be ready for the man that's going to select her, because the little girl no longer is living through Nicole. So I celebrate you and your growth there. That was huge. So Quay, King, obviously see Prince and Chloe, you all behind the scenes, but you know, God always does things in timing. Nothing will happen before it is intended to happen, because most times we miss it if we're not present. And I heard someone says, the teacher will appear when the student is ready. It's not that the teacher has not always been there, but the student was not ready. And so also in my closing, Chloe, when I went down to my husband for forgiveness, it wasn't about me forgiving him. It was about me asking him to forgive me for my behavior. So thank you all. That's all I have to say. Girl, you ain't no longer in that shit because you in the shift.
No, we appreciate that, Shirley. And Nicole, you want to say anything, or you good?
Sure. Just thank you all for being so amazing and providing a safe space. I can definitely see the growth up until this point. So I'm so happy, grateful, and excited. That's all.
No, we appreciate that. And listen, I'll just say this.
Get him, Quay.
We can see it as well. Well, I said, I remember when you first came on the show for the first time, to now. And we can definitely see the growth. I can definitely see that you are looking at things differently. I can definitely see that you are now locked in on making some changes as you kind of move into your future. I can tell that you reprioritized some things as well.
Wow.
I can tell. But no, like I said, I'll put it this way. Like I said, I'm proud of you. Like I said, I see you. And keep doing what you're doing.
Nicole, the author.
There it is.
Got a nice ring to it. Chloe, you got anything, sis?
Just real quick. First of all, super proud of you, Nicole. Like that took a lot of courage for you to do that. Like super proud of you. And then, like, yes, Shirley, got you. And that's what I figured that's what it was. Got you. Sorry if it seemed like I misunderstood, but yes. I just think that we have to remember too, like, regardless if we have to stop pretending that we're okay. Like it's okay to not be okay. Like it's okay to live in that emotion. It's okay to feel the feelings, right? You're not wrong for feeling what you feel. The part where we go wrong is trying to hide it or trying to bury it or feeling like, why can't I move on? Why can't I just let it go? You can move on, but you have to truly let it go. And it starts with confessing it. Until you confess it, you can't release it, right? And then the adversary, he holds that power over you. And the person that hurts you, they hold that power over you because then you make it about you. And it wasn't about you. What they did was about them.
Uh-oh.
It wasn't about you.
Uh-oh.
So you have to confess it because you didn't do anything wrong.
Come on now.
You didn't do anything wrong. So when you hold on to it, then you make it your problem, your thing.
Preacher.
And it's not really yours to hold on to. Put that back on them. You confess it. So it can go back where it belongs. Back where it belongs.
Tell them one more time, Chloe. Tell them one more time.
You shouldn't carry the burden of that. You shouldn't have to carry that burden.
No, Chloe, tell them for the people in the back of the church. Say that again because they need to hear that. Say it one more time.
You have to confess it and let it go because it's not your burden to carry. That's on them because what they did was a problem with them. It wasn't about you. It never was about you. You weren't wrong. You are not the one who should feel the shame or the guilt. That belongs to them. So give it back to it.
I had to break out the church fan.
Don't you carry it around. And that's what you did, and you showed other people, Nicole, how it feels to release it. And super proud of you. And thank you for doing that. You encouraged me, to just address some things that, even in my life that I'm like, okay, yeah, I forgave and I let go. But, confession is important. Confessing it is important. And how can we, truly receive the help and the encouragement from our people if we don't confess it, right? We're supposed to go to our support group. We're supposed to confess it so that we can pray together and then people can encourage you and motivate you and build you up. And if you're keeping it to yourself, then you can't get that. But
come on, Chloe.
But Miss Shirley is right. It has to happen when you're ready. It has to happen when you're ready. And you're the only one that will know that.
Wow.
Yep. For sure.
And you wasn't gonna say nothing. You better stop playing and preacher, and get them fingers going. Get the fingers going. Give her the fingers, Chloe. Give her the fingers. Shoot.
All right, man. We at that time, man. You got anything you want to say real quick, Los? We got to wrap, man.
I got you, bro. First of all, Chloe, I commend you. Never keep that inside, sis. Never keep that inside. Go ahead and speak your truth. Because guess what? You're pouring into other people that me and Quay can't never pour into. And you're filling their cups because some people need to hear what Chloe has to say. Chloe has a strong enough voice. Her voice is just as strong as anybody up here on this platform. Your perspective is just as powerful as anybody up on here on this platform. Ain't nobody better than nobody. So when it's your time to go, sis, it's your time to go. When the fingers get to waving, get the fingers waving. And when you get to going and doing what you do, go on and do what you do, sis, because you bad. You bad. And guess what? You know why I know you bad? Because Quay ain't choose nobody who wasn't. Quay did his homework. Quay did a great job marrying you. I'm proud of my brother. Y'all are a power couple. You guys are a super couple. You guys are amazing. I love you. You guys represent what marriage should look like on the show. It ain't perfect, but guess what? It is marriage, and you're still working it. And I'm proud of you. Two light-skinned pieces of butterscotch candy doing what y'all do. I'm proud of y'all, and I love
you. Need a mule. Yeah, and all that stuff. You need to get them.
and see, Prince, I'm glad that you figured out a way to get around your coping from the 13-year-old boy who went to the arcade that didn't want to give you no snacks, and here it is popcorn, but now y'all can talk about the popcorn and y'all can go to the theater to watch the movie, and then y'all both got great beers, and you can talk about how y'all got to the point of not having a beer but got great beers, and y'all doing better now, and y'all can't play dominoes, but you try to play dominoes, and you play bingo, but and everything's still working.
Man, we got to get off of here, man. We got to get off of here, man.
What's wrong with this dude tonight?
You gotta get off of here, man.
Hey. I'm sorry. Okay. Nicole, we are going to be checking in with you, sis, about your book. We are going to hold you accountable, sis, about your book. We love you, sis, for your book. Hey, and look what happened on this show, man. This show is all about that. Fun, love, education. And even if we say something that people don't think, hey, first of all, let me shout out Mama Price. Hey, let me shout out Mama Price. Hey, Mama Price, Mama Price, Mama Price, Mama Price. I feel it. Hey, Mama Price, Mama Price, Mama Price. Don't get jealous, Clay, because you ain't never come up with that song for Mama Price. Don't be jealous. Don't be jealous.
Man, you tripping, man.
Mama
I'm
Price,
not-
love you. Now we're gonna hold you accountable, sis. Chloe gonna check in. My mama gonna check in. So the queens are gonna hold you accountable to check in on how to write the book. And I'm finna give you a gem. So listen up. If you don't know how to write, you ain't gotta write nothing. Get a tape recorder. Have Chloe interview you. Have my mama interview you. Have my family interview you. And then have your family interview you. And then go have Quay interview you, who's a man. Have another brother who's a man interview you, right? So that way you have all these collections of interviews. And then you go on Fiverr, and then you pay for somebody to do the dictation of what your interviews are. And then they'll translate everything that you just said. And then once it's translated, I got an editor for you. So then you give the editor all those transcripts, and they're going to put your book together for you. Okay. So maybe you didn't hear me. I'm going to say that one more time. You're going to speak, and all these people are going to interview you. They're going to talk to you about your process. So they go, how was your childhood? How was high school? All the way up to the event. And then we're going to talk about after the event and how you felt. And then we're going to talk about how you moved through your storm. And then we're going to talk about how you got to the point of your glory and how you came out of your storm. And then we're going to talk about how you wrote this book and why you wrote this book and why you thought it was important. And then we're going to do a conclusion. And then we're going to thank God about the end of the day, about your book and how your book is going to be blessed for everyone that's going to watch it, everyone going to listen to it. And then you're going to give me 10% for coming up with the idea about that. Nah, I'm just playing. But no, for real, I got a publisher for you. This is how you can write a book without writing a book. If you don't want to sit there and write pages. Now, you can write pages, but I promise you it's an intimate process that you're going to go through. Enjoy the process of all the different emotions you're going to go through when you write your book. And guess what? I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to warn you right now. The fact that you're free, you are going to be attacked. Someone's going to try to attack your freedom. Someone's going to tell you writing a book is stupid. Someone is going to try to prevent you from getting to your goal. But that is the design of life. So when that happens, understand that that hater is just doing its job to distract you, to see how bad you say you want what you want. So when the hater comes, just say, hi, hater, how you doing? I was expecting you. That way you can keep your eyes on the prize and continue moving forward. And the closer you get, the stronger the hate. But that's when you know when you're closer to that finish line, because your book is so empowering and freeing. This is Look in the Mirror, the Conversation. I'm one of your hosts, King Jacquel Martin. That's my light-skinned homie over there, Chocolate Caramel, coming to the stage, Sexual Butterscotch, Quay Price with the Steve Harvey haircut. You know what I'm saying? And he's, you know what I'm saying? He stayed clean. He stayed clean. I don't care. Mama Price did him right. Chloe did him right. My brother stayed clean. He stayed dressed to impress, ready to go. That's why he's the other host of the show, the host with the most. Caramel Butterscotch. Sexual Butterscotch. Sexual Butterscotch. I said it. That's right. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, bring a friend, come back to the show, and make sure you watch out, because we don't want you to have somebody at the arcade that got a gun that might take you back to the movie. Fall asleep when you're playing bingo.
Prince alone, man. Leave C Prince alone, man. Listen, shout out to everybody who joined us tonight. Listen, shout out to everybody down in the comments as well, for coming and participating with us tonight. This is Look in the Mirror, the Conversation. We do this show every Thursday night, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. 9:30 Eastern Standard Time every Thursday night. And with that being said, everybody have an awesome night, and we'll catch you guys next week.
Gang, gang.
We did it. Like, subscribe. Like, subscribe.